let's give a go with this system of equations here. Now, this system would not be a good candidate for elimination by substitution because this would be difficult to solve for x in the sense that I'm going to get fractions. If I solve it for x, I'll get fractions. If I solve it for y, I'll get fractions. Same down here. If I try to solve for x or y, I'm going to get fractions, and I don't want to deal with those. So elimination by substitution is not such a good approach there. We'll try another approach. We'll use elimination by addition. Let's call this equation 1 and equation 2. Now, here's my plan. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to eliminate y and get x. Now, I'm just eliminating y and I get x. Eventually, I'm going to eliminate x and get y. It doesn't matter which one you do first. I'm just going to choose to eliminate y and get x. So to eliminate y, look at the y's here. What I want to do is I want to get them to be the opposites. Now, if you take a look in the section just previous to this on the concepts, you'll see what we mean, what we want to do. The idea here is this. I'll do it up here kind of out of the way. But if you had something like this, if you had 30y and you add negative 30y, what do you get? You get 0 and the y's are gone. So let's try to eliminate the y. So here's how I do this. Locate the y's and look at the numbers, look at their coefficients. And then ask yourself, what is the smallest number both of these numbers divide into? Okay, I think they both divide into 30. I don't have to use the smallest, but it keeps the numbers lower, easier to work with. So the smallest number both these divide into are 30. So I can make these numbers 30 if I do this. If I multiply this by 6, I'd get a 30. If I multiply this by 5, I'll get 30. They already have opposite signs, so I'm going to get this situation over here. 30y plus negative 30y is 0. So here's the plan. I'm going to take 6 times equation 1, and then I'm going to add to that 5 times equation 2. So here's my notation. I'm going to multiply the entire equation 1 by 6. So 6 times equation 1. Then I'm going to add to that, multiply the entire equation 2 by 5. So 5 times equation 2. So let's do this. Multiply the entire top equation by 6. So I'll get times 6 times 6 times 6. It will look like this. 18x plus 30y equals 24, right? Times 6 is 18, times 6 is 30, times 6 is 24. Now, let's multiply the second equation by 5, right? 5 times the second equation. So everything in the second equation gets multiplied by 5. 25x minus 30y equals 5. Make sense? Everything by 5. 25, negative 30, and 5. And do you remember why we chose the 6 and the 5? Look at the y's. We're trying to eliminate them. I want these numbers to be opposites. What's the smallest number they divide into is 30. So I want to make them 30s. So I can make these 30s if I multiply by 6, multiply by 5. That's why we chose those numbers. Now, let's add these equations together. So we will get 18x plus 25x is 43x. And look what happens here. 30y minus 30y, the y's are gone. And we'll add this side, we'll get 29. One more step. All we have to do is divide by this 43. So we'll get x equals 29 over 43. I'll circle it so I can find it again. Now, here's what we did. We eliminated y and we got x. Now what I'm going to do, I'll do it right over here. Let's eliminate x and get y. So, focus in on these x's. Look at these coefficients. I want them to be the opposite. So what's the smallest number they divide into? I'm thinking 15. So I'm going to make them 15s. But if I just multiply by 5 and multiply by 3, I'm going to get 15x and 15x is 30. I need them to be opposites. So because they have the same sign, and I want opposites, I'm going to choose one of these multipliers to be a negative. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try this. I'm going to go with negative 5 times equation 1 plus 3 times equation 2. So the smallest number they divide into is 15. Make them 15s. How do you get a 15 here? Multiply by 5. How do you get a 15 here? Multiply it by 3. But because they have the same sign, I need to get an opposite. So I'm going to choose maybe the first one to be that negative multiplier. So it's going to look like this now when we multiply through. So multiply that first equation by negative 5. So up here, each one of these terms get multiplied by negative 5. It'll look like this. Negative 15x minus 25y equals negative 20. Just check it. Multiply by negative 5, I'll get negative 15, negative 25, negative 20. And then I'm going to multiply every number in the second equation right here. Second equation gets multiplied through by 3. Now how do I get a 15 here? I'll multiply by 3. So everything gets multiplied by 3. So we will get 15x minus 18y equals 3. Right? Just check it. Multiply everything here by 3. 15, negative 18, and 3. That's what we've got down here. Let's add. And you see it. They get a 15x plus 15x. Those x's are gone. And here, negative 25y minus 18y is negative 43y equals negative 20 plus 3 is negative 17. Divide by that negative 43. We'll get y equals negative 17 over negative 43, but negative over negative is positive. We'll get y equals 17 over 43. And now I've got both x and y, and I didn't have to deal with any fractions. So let's just summarize. Here's the solution to our system. X is 29 over 43, and y is 17 over 43.